Well, it seems like the flip is starting in Tesla stock. Some of the bears are flipping to be less bearish, and some of your bulls are really getting bullish on Tesla stock. We have some notes out from Adam Jonas from Guggenheim. We do have some other words of positivity from Zacks Investment Research. Lots of things to get into here in this video, and you know what this sounds like to me? Some sweet, sweet profits are coming. We have all of your Tesla breaking news you need to know. We're going to look at the option activity as well as break down and put in context what is happening in our markets. If making money sounds like something you are interested in, well, consider sticking around a while, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that like button. Let's go ahead and not waste your time. Let's get into it. First up, one of your most bearish price targets on Wall Street did get raised today. A little bit of good news. Guggenheim analyst Ronald Juskinow has raised his price target on Tesla to $132 from $125 while maintaining a sell rating. I also think it's important to just go over what this analyst is ranked. Not so great. Ronald is ranked 6,597 out of 8,636 Wall Street analysts by TipRanks. He has an average return of negative 7.2% per stock rating, so hopefully nobody takes this one too serious. But it is positive for Tesla stock today. Zacks Investments says, quote, investors using traditional valuation metrics to value Tesla are likely to be wrong. Tesla's price-to-book ratio reveals an undervalued position compared to other mainstream stocks. Meanwhile, the Cybertruck's rising popularity and Tesla's sustained growth in China furthermore underscores its positive strength. As the automotive landscape continues to evolve towards EVs, Tesla's innovative approach and global expansion projects make it a must-own. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas has released a new Tesla note. Quote, Tesla sits at the epicenter of a potential Cambrian explosion of technology, ushering in a new morphological area. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas has released a new Tesla note. Quote, Tesla sits at the epicenter of a potential Cambrian explosion of technology, ushering in a new morphological era. In this note, it's mostly about the AI potential. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas does say the edge AI approaches its Olivia Newton-John moment. He says AI is all around us. AI listens to you. AI sees your face and body. AI knows where you are right now. AI can read. AI can write. AI can talk. AI can make a picture of cats wearing little cowboy hats playing canasta. But other algorithms, more real AI potential, well, puts Tesla at a real advantage here and at the epicenter of a potential Cambrian explosion of technology, citing the 19th century of revolution in the AI field and the ultimately for automobiles, including full self-driving. They go on to talk about Optimus. Is Optimus ready for prime time? Time to brush up on your micro motors and harmonic reducers. They go on to extensively cite the potential of the AI autonomous robot called Optimus. Adam Jonas also believes that this could be a $30 trillion global market, because that would be about 30% of global GDP. Looks like 40 completed Cybertrucks are being spotted today at Giga Texas, and you can see many more inside, which looks like they're just parked kind of. However, this one looks like it's this is the back end here, this is the front end. Looks like there's another one kind of blocking them off. Who knows how many Cybertrucks are currently actually here, but it could be 100 or more. We're getting reports that hundreds of individuals have already gotten confirmation emails to configure their Cybertrucks. This could be a great sign. Tesla is looking to strengthen its legal team in Sweden, with the company posting a job opening for a government affairs specialist for the Nordic region. Tesla is also set to receive an additional $153 million worth of incentives from the Mexican state of Nuevo Leon for its upcoming Gigafactory. The incentive package was approved by the state's Economic Development Council today. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas released another Tesla note about the autopilot recall specifically. He says, quote, "I've used autopilot regularly for over 3 years and FSD, the full self-driving feature, for over 1 year. It continuously gets better in my view, but I've also gotten better at knowing when to use it and, importantly, when not to use it." Morgan Stanley remains overweight with a $380 price target, and in a bull case, you could see Tesla at $550 within the next 12 months and $120 per share in a worst case scenario in the next 12 months. New drone footage is also being released, and it looks like Fremont, their production is pretty much at max capacity right now. And we are seeing a substantial amount of new Teslas ready to be shipped off the lot. Greece reported 98 Tesla sales and 0.9% market share for November. Year to date, this is 204% higher than the same period last year. Elon Musk reposted this video from Tesla manufacturing that shows their hairpin stator line that is performing 50,000 operations per day to produce the drive unit for the Model Y, turning electricity into motion. Not sure why I can't play that video without audio, but that is pretty dang fast. For Giga Berlin, Tesla is paying a total of $6 million in business tax to Drunheide for 2022, making the small community of about 4,000 households very wealthy. The treasurer, Kirstine Lang, says, quote, "According to Tesla, the trade tax for 2022 will amount to around 6 million euros. Tom Lee expresses the same optimism that Dan Ives does. He says this is a new tech bull market that has just begun, and tech stocks are set up for a strong 2024 as he expects tech to be up 20%, led by big tech as the AI spending tidal wave hits the shores of the tech world. Now the rest of the tech sector joins the Magnificent Seven in the rally." We talk about this a little bit more in the next video where I go over my price target for Tesla stock in 2024. But Gary Black says Tesla at $250 now trades at 58 times his 2024 adjusted EPS of $4.30 per share. Is that expensive or cheap? He thinks that's cheap relative to 28% volume growth and 32% EPS growth between now and 2030. If you also look at the PEG ratio between Tesla and Apple, Tesla is way cheaper, with a PEG ratio about twice as cheap as Apple. So dollar for dollar, you are paying more for Apple, twice as more for Apple as you are for Tesla. If you remember yesterday, Apple and Microsoft sold off big time. Tesla was up 5%. I think this chart should be reversed. I think Tesla should be in the number 1 spot. Google should be in the number 2 spot, or Nvidia for that matter. Really just flip this chart around. I think that's what we can expect in 2024, meaning that Tesla should well outperform all of these other names. Gary Black also says that Tesla stands out as, quote, "the only investable EV play amid rivals cutbacks," says Gary Black. "Find me another megacap with that type of growth." And this was actually on the Benzinga Newswire. Tesla boomer Papa is solving the autopilot accident myth once and for all. Something a lot of us clearly understand and agree with from the start, but I think financial media just cannot get over this fact. 1/3 of all accidents using autopilot are rear ends, so not even autopilot's fault. Cora states that car accidents happen every 500,000 miles on average. But for Teslas with autopilots, well, try one for every 6.4 million miles. This is 12 times better than the national average. Now take a listen to this from Tom Lee. He thinks small cap stocks could rally 50% next year. Imagine what Tesla does if small caps rally that much.
Asset quality gets better, rates fall for the banks. Commercial real estate comes back. Small caps, which are highly levered or higher levered, really benefit. So to me, this, the next 12 months, it seems like small caps can be up 50%. The Russell 2000 just crossed 2,000 today. So maybe
50%.
Yeah, so it could be Russell 2000 hitting 3,000.
Holy moly! If that happens, Tesla's at least, at minimum, doubling up from here. We'll talk about my price targets for 2024 in the next video. You do not want to miss that one, coming out at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time later on today. Mexico's Nuevo León Governor Samuel Garcia confirmed that the Cybertruck will be produced at Tesla's Mexico Gigafactory. Something I think comes to us as somewhat new information. Nick Timiraos is reporting to us one of the biggest stories for the markets today. New York Fed President John Williams tells CNBC the Fed is focused on whether it has done enough to raise rates, an apparent pushback of some of the rate cut vibes from the press conference Wednesday. Rate cuts were, quote, not the topic of conversation around what we are going to do. When asked whether financial conditions are easing in a counterproductive fashion, Williams observes that financial conditions tightened a lot from August to October. Quote, monetary policy is working as intended. So wait, we're not thinking about rate cuts, but monetary policy is working as intended. This is all baloney, guys. This is all BS. Let's just be honest. Of course, they weren't thinking about cutting rates this last meeting. That's not priced in until March. They're going to be thinking about cutting rates in March. It's as simple as that. It's a play on words here that John Williams is doing. But the real story is monetary policy is working as intended. This, in my opinion, is confirming that markets are, again, correct in their pricing of Fed policy. This is the news today that is pushing down the Russell 2000 by about 1%. What is also interesting is even though the Russell's down 1%, the indexes are pretty flat. The S&P's down about 0.2, the Nasdaq's up about 0.2. All in all, pretty flat day for the indexes, but the Russell is seeing a little more pain than these other guys. The VIX is actually down 1.68% today, meaning that even though the Russell's down, the S&P's down, the Dow is down, you're not seeing hedge funds, institutions, or individuals rushing to buy put protection. This is simply just a slight give back because we've rallied so aggressively recently. GM plans to lay off 1,300 Michigan workers as vehicles end production. The largest of the layoffs were expected. They include 945 workers at Orion Assembly who built Chevy Bolt models, which are ending production after this year. The other 369 workers to be laid off are at GM's Lansing Grand River Assembly / stamping, which will no longer produce the Chevrolet Camaro. I think discontinuing the Chevy Camaro is going to be something they look back at as failure. We actually did get some good news as well. This is from Darden earnings. So Darden Restaurants is the parent company to Olive Garden. They do own a couple other things as well, but Olive Garden's the main one. It says Olive Garden owner Darden beats earnings estimates, hikes guidance as sales climb. Revenue was up 9.7%, driven by the addition of Ruth's Chris Steakhouse locations, the same store sales growth at other key chains, the company said. Why is this great news? Because if you are someone that is looking forward to or expecting a recession next year, one of the first places you need to look at is restaurants. That's one of the first things that will get cut out of budgets. If you're not seeing the slowdown in restaurants yet, at least, well, you're probably not going to see this recession. Overall, I'm not in the recession camp like some people for many different reasons. You could actually make the argument the economy might accelerate in 2024 if these deflationary pressures do actually help out the average person, right? If the average person is no longer spending $5 to $7 on gasoline, they're spending $3 to $5. Well, those couple dollars per gallon are going to make a difference in Christmas shopping and day-to-day just shopping that people do. Maybe people will buy more products and maybe buy more services. You can make an argument there. Typically, deflation is very bad. Deflation very rarely ever happens. That's because it's not every day you see inflation go from 2%, sub 2%, post-financial crisis up until 2019, 2020, and then you see inflation rocket to 9%. Really, real inflation was probably like 40%. Just government metrics were at 9%. You guys understand the cost of living has went up a lot more than 9%. But a little deflation now, I could make the argument that that actually spurs the economy in 2024. All of this would be good news for Tesla. And as Tesla stock investors, that is good news to you. 10-year treasury yields are hitting the lowest levels that you have seen since July. So this is probably something that is also helping to contribute to this rally that we have seen recently. 10-year treasury yields are flat on the day today. At one point today, they were down almost 2 basis points, but you have since given some of that back. If you are in recession camp for 2024, you do want to be watching the 10 and the 2-year yield curve. When this actually uninverts, that's when you get pain in the markets. Lately, we've actually seen this inverting more, but when you start to uninvert, which should theoretically be as we approach March and as we start to get rate cuts, that's when you want to be watching for market weakness. But right now, you're just not seeing any signs of that. Tesla stock today, so far, we still have some time left throughout the day, has seen 1,032 orders in Tesla options, totaling $1.35 billion with a positive order value of 69%. Take a look at the volume as well. The volume is 60% to the call side, 39.93% to the put side. Almost 2 times as many calls being bought today compared to puts. It looks like people are flipping on Tesla stock. No longer are you seeing basically everyone besides retail investors bearish. No, big money's starting to flip on Tesla stock. As I suspected, it looks like hedge funds, institutions that were short on Tesla stock lost over $1 billion yesterday. Now there is $22.56 billion worth of short positions, and Tesla stock is continuing to climb about 0.5% today. And I think we are in for a much larger rally to come. If you take a look at this line, this downtrending line of resistance, you have recently broke above this, recently as in yesterday, and today you're continuing to move higher. Anytime in the past that this happens, anytime on any stock this ever happens, this tends to lead to substantial upside, sometimes to a higher point than the start of the line, which would be above $300 per share. By the end of December, guys, if FSD does enter into the Chinese market, do not be surprised if Tesla stock is higher than $300 just to start 2024 or in the beginning of 2024. I won't put a 2-week timeline on it. It could be 2 to 4 weeks, but I think Tesla stock is going above 300 in the near term future. New inventory numbers for the Tesla lineup show a downtick in the Model Y, but still at very elevated levels. The Model 3 is seeing a little bit of a boost here. That's probably a good thing. The Model S and the Model X continue to fall, as some of your wait times are also increasing for the Model S and the Model X. That might just show some good demand for the higher priced models. That could be great news for Tesla stock. I'm a little curious why the Model Y is staying very high. We do know Shanghai is producing about twice as many Model Ys as Model 3s, so that could explain a little of this chart. Google Trends data for the entire Tesla lineup seems to be taking a move lower. The Cybertruck is forecasted to be at about 42, which is still higher than the Model 3 and the Model Y, but the Model 3 and the Model Y are downturning just a little bit as well. And Tesla continues to run about 300 different ads globally. The percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average is down about 2.27% today, down to 79.24%, still higher than any point we seen during the summer AI hopium rally, but looking pretty good here. You don't want to see this just continue to move higher. Today is actually a good thing for this market, in my personal opinion. I think over the next coming weeks, one of the main reasons why Tesla stock breaks above $300 per share is you will continue to see money come off the sidelines, $6.2 trillion in money market funds, probably even more than that has recently bought treasuries. I would say $10 to $15 trillion there. Another couple $1 trillion in cash in the sidelines will start to make its way into our markets. That capital is not going into Magnificent Seven names. If they're smart, it's going to go into stocks like Tesla, your interest rate sensitive names, some of your high quality small mid cap stocks. So Tesla, small mid cap stocks likely to continue to outperform, but odds are you might actually see capital go out of Apple and Microsoft into a Tesla. You have to remember that the way hedge funds and institutions work, they don't want to lose clients, right? So the S&P 500 is market weighted. So let's say, just for rough numbers here, let's say Apple, it's a little bit higher than this, but let's say Apple is 10% of the S&P. Well, in theory, if you want to keep a beta to the S&P, but you wanted to invest in Tesla, you would have to buy 3 times as much Tesla to have an S&P market weighting equivalent to Apple. Let's say if Tesla's S&P weighting was 3%. These numbers are a little bit different, but you get the idea, right? Then a fund would have to buy 3 times as much Tesla as they would Apple just to correlate to the S&P. Now there's something called beta or alpha, right? Your beta is correlating to the S&P. Your alpha is where you try to get exponential returns. Tesla offers both of those, a beta to the S&P as well as an alpha that can really outperform. If you're correlated to the S&P, you might own a similar weighting that the S&P does, 12% Apple, 10% Microsoft, roughly, 8% Google, 5% Amazon. I think Tesla's like 4.5% weighted to the S&P. You might do that, and then you might get small and mid-cap stocks as your alpha to outperform the S&P. Again, you don't want to have a 5% return in a year where the S&P did 20%. That's the point of this. But Tesla can be seen as the beta and the alpha. Another great reason to own Tesla stock in 2024. Here on the day today, TLT is going up 0.06%. That's great. The higher TLT goes, the better. That means long duration treasuries continuing to fall. USO is down 0.25%. Also great news today. The dollar is up about 0.5%. Probably the worst thing that we're seeing today. You want to see the dollar fall. That instantly helps multinationals when they convert their foreign currencies to dollars, actually bring in more dollars. This is one of the reasons why stocks got pummeled in 2022, right? Look at what the dollar did. It went up about 20% relative to global currencies. If you are a auto manufacturer like a Tesla, taking in Chinese yuan and euros and yen and all kinds of different foreign currencies, you convert that to a strong dollar, you're going to get less dollars. The more this chart falls, the more dollars that Tesla is going to bring in from foreign currencies. Hopefully that makes some sense. If not, just Google foreign currency conversion and learn that for yourselves. It's pretty basic, but it can sound a little complicated. Gold is down about 1% as well. That's good news in my personal opinion, but overall a pretty solid uptrend we're seeing in gold, hitting higher lows. So just watch this one. If that really does start to break out some more, could be the canary in the coal mine if you will. But all in all, Tesla stock is looking beautiful today. Hedge funds and institutions are flipping, even some of the bears with some of the bearish price targets on Tesla starting to say, maybe we're wrong a little bit. Maybe Tesla stock is not going to be as bad as we expect. Let me know what you guys think about all of this information down below in the comment section, and stay tuned to the channel for that 8:30 p.m. video coming out later on tonight. My 2024 price target might surprise all of you. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That is going to do it for this one. If you guys want to come trade with us live in real time as well, link down below in the description of this video. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Michael Tyler, and I will see you in the next one.